Hi everyone, welcome to the VIP MasterClass series. I'm Josh Wright, and today's episode is requested by Tony. He says the following: Hi Josh, it's Tony again, the blind pianist and one of your VIP members. You answered my question about Bach dynamics back in March, and thanks again for giving such great explanations. My question this time is about how to play big jumps without seeing the keyboard. I've practiced this technique for a long time, but when I get a new piece, I have to start over the same process again. What I mean by process is to practice very slowly to let my hands know where to move and gradually increase the tempo. But as the pieces get more difficult, this process usually takes longer and longer. So can you share your experience with practicing eyes closed? The two pieces I'm working on regarding this subject right now are the last movement of the Franck Violin Sonata and the second movement of the Chopin B-flat minor Sonata. If you can demonstrate the coda section of the Franck and the beginning section of the second movement, that would be helpful. Thanks for all of your hard work posting the VIP videos. Thanks for being a VIP member, Tony. I addressed this a little bit last week, but I want to go more in depth because I think this can really benefit the entire group if we go over these concepts deeper than we did last week. The thing that I want each of you to realize is that to get good at sight reading, you have to be blind to the keyboard. Okay, so doing what we're about to do with Tony is actually the key to get good at sight reading. Okay, so I just wanted to do that as like a little disclaimer. Okay, so the way that you get good at that, and Tony, this applies to you with feeling around for those jumps, is to everybody close your eyes, and then what I want you to do, here's this passage. And by the way, I'm in huge admiration for you, Tony, because this is like an unbelievably difficult piece just to learn normally, and now you're doing it blind. It's unbelievable. So Franck Violin Sonata, if any of you guys know, it's like it should be labeled the Franck Piano Sonata with violin accompaniment. It is just so dang hard, especially that second movement. Holy smokes. I accompanied a flute player. They adapted this, like flute players play this same thing, and I played it for like almost a year in Michigan. And I remember it was even hard at her recital to hit everything accurately just because it's jumping around. So here we go. I'm going to read through it real slowly. Let's see. It's been a while. That's not as bad at the end. And the ending passage isn't so bad as these, I think. So, Tony, what we're going to do is we're going to fill around for the 2 and 3 black keys. Now, that seems like a really basic piece of information, but this is how I teach all of my students how to sight read. It's so helpful. Okay, so, and I would just take one passage at a time. You're obviously memorizing as you go. And by the way, Tony, I'd be really interested to know how you learn pieces. Do you have somebody like play it for you and you listen like slowly, or is there actual sheet music that you can get in Braille? I'd be really interested to know how you learn. So just send me an email about that because I'm curious. But once you have this memorized, and for any of you who are wondering, the way I usually learn a piece is I get it kind of smooth and then I'm memorizing. A lot of people memorize automatically. Obviously, Tony's going to be doing that as well. But I would just memorize one bar at a time. Okay, and what I want you to do, feel around for those 3 and 2 black keys. So what I'm going to do here, I found my E octaves. Okay, and then what I'm going to do, very slowly, I'll keep my thumb down on this top E, and then I will feel for those 3 black keys, and then I will slide to the outsides of those because I know where E and B is. Okay, and then I know the feel of an octave E. Okay, and I'm going to do the same thing with this top E. I'm going to hold it down. I'm going to feel for the E flat right below it so I know where to put my 5th finger on the D, and then I will feel with my fingers, with my 3rd and 2nd finger of the left hand, up for that G sharp. Okay, again, so I'm going to hold this E, feel for the 3 black keys, slide out, and then, and then I'm going to feel for the G sharp and the D. Okay, so, okay, this one, same thing. What I would do here, Tony, is since your A is playing again, and you have some things in the general vicinity, it is jumping around all over, but they're kind of in the general vicinity. And so what I'm going to do here, rather than lifting my hand and jumping to the A and the E, what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of cross my hand over, replace the 1 with the 5, and then feel up a 5th. Now, one thing that each of you can do, if you're bad at feeling like, oh, what does a 5th feel like? Just do a little practice each day with different fingerings. Like a 5th, I would go 5-1, and just practice, you know, feeling around different parts on the keyboard, and then do it with like 5-2, you know, like that. You could do it with seconds, thirds, fourths, fifths, sixths, sevenths, and then octaves, and then you can do with a 9th, and then if you can reach a 10th, that's usually your biggest span. Maybe some of you can reach an 11th. I can barely reach an 11th, but I can feel a 10th really easily. And as you practice the piano more, and as you practice that exercise each day, maybe just close your eyes, warm up. If you play a third, and you're like, I'm not sure that's a third, check it. Oh, yep, that's a third. Okay, that's a good way to get really good at these jumps. Okay, so now here. Thank you so much for watching. I've listed 2 links in the description below. One of them is to download this full video that you've just watched the sample for. The other is to view the entire library of VIP Masterclass series videos. I hope you've enjoyed this. Have a great week. Good luck in your practice sessions.